So I am in Stockholm, Sweden, my last day here before I head out to Finland. But I thought I'd give you another travel tip. I'll probably be doing a lot of these kind of travel tip videos since I'm traveling and it's on my mind. And if you haven't noticed, I tend to do videos about what's on my mind on this YouTube channel. Yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, that's what I do. So, and there's a reason for that. It's because I can usually talk best about something that is very relevant to me at the time, or that I'm passionate about because I'm working on it or going through it at the time. If that makes sense, it makes sense to me. So anyway, I thought I would give you a little bit of tip here, because some of you might be wondering, how is it that I'm able to travel for about 2 months and visit a bunch of these European cities? And if you've seen my videos in China, I traveled through China the year before, and then the year before that I went through Europe and went to like Ireland. You can check out those videos as well. Ireland and London and Iceland and Paris and Amsterdam and Bruges, and there's probably some other city in there that I forgot about. But anyway, I travel a lot, and I travel for a long period of time, 2 or 3 months. So how do I do this, right? I mean, am I just rich? Is that it? You can check out my video on making $1 million, but I'll tell you, that's not it. That's not it. I travel on quite a bit of a budget. So in fact, you might be surprised to find out that aside from expensive food and whatnot, the total cost of my trip here in 2017 to Europe, going to Stockholm, Finland, Tallinn, Estonia, Switzerland for a couple of weeks, and then a bunch of places in Italy, right? The total cost for that, including not just me, but my family, so 3 of us totally, the total cost is basically going to be about $4,000, maybe a little bit more, somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000, and that's basically mostly airfare. So how am I doing this? How is that possible? How can you travel to Europe for 2 months in fairly expensive cities, right? Especially the year before last, where I was in London, right? And Iceland is actually real expensive. A lot of places like that, Berlin, Paris, right? Expensive city. Well, Berlin's not expensive, but a lot of expensive cities. Okay, how can you do that? Well, what I do is, instead of renting Airbnbs, I know a lot of people do Airbnbs or renting a hotel or a vacation rental, I do a home exchange. So I actually swap homes with other people. So right now, while I am in Stockholm, Sweden, there is a family from Stockholm, Sweden that is staying in my house. And my neighbors are like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, that's how I do it, right? Is I basically just swap homes. I don't know if I ever talked about it on this YouTube channel before, but you essentially sign up, you create a profile there, and you find other families that want to exchange homes in a location. You say where you want to go, and you can message people on there, and you can see their ratings, you can see what exchanges they've done, so you know that they're not criminals. Although it seems really weird, right? A lot of people, when I tell them about doing the exchanges, they say, well, that's kind of strange. Like, aren't you afraid of having weird people in your home? But the thing is, you're going to be in their home too. So somehow it tends to work out. I have never really had a problem. I've probably done, how many exchanges? I've done some in the US, and I've done a lot overseas as well. So I want to say probably like at least 10, maybe 12 exchanges total. Probably more than that. Actually, by the end of this year, it'll probably be like 15. But I've never had a problem. Doesn't mean I can't have a problem, but with the amount of money that I'm saving that I would be spending on hotels, it's worth it, even if there is an issue. Now, there's been issues like the power just went out at my house, so I had to deal with that, and you know, there have been various issues of that sort, but I try to minimize those as much as possible. Anyway, it's a really good way to travel for cheap, and like I said, surprisingly, it's not that dangerous. The other cool thing about it is that you get to actually live in someone's house in a neighborhood as opposed to a hotel. You know, it's one thing to go visit a city and stay in a hotel in that city, and you know, that could be a nice experience, but it's a whole nother thing to visit a city and stay in an actual neighborhood, stay in someone's actual house, and you know, get to meet the neighbors or whatever, and go to the grocery store and see what it's like to actually live in that city. Or you know, you get a much better feel for the city and what it's like. So that's why, another reason why I do it. But yeah, you basically can save a whole lot of money. Plus, you also get exposed to a bunch of different like cities and areas that you might not have considered before, right? I get exchange offers from different places, and they say, you know, why should you go to our exchange with us? And they list all the kind of cool stuff that they have in that area, what they have to offer. And so, you know, a city like Stockholm, I probably wouldn't have, you know, just visited on my own, but if I had the offer to go there, yeah, sure, I'm going to do that. And I planned on visiting Italy this year. That was one of the places I really wanted to see. I've never been to Italy, so I actually put in for exchanges there and found an exchange in Rome, right? So I'm going to be staying in Rome, right, basically for free, and another one in Venice. Or actually, I think I might have had to rent a little bit for a couple days. I'm only a couple days in Venice, so there's a few spots where, you know, I had to fill it in. But essentially the way I do it with my trips is that I come up with one primary exchange, and then I try to find other things I can fill in there, right? If I'm going to go to Europe, if I'm going to try and do about 2 or 3 months, then I want to put some stuff on the back or the front of it, and I try to make it all contiguous as much as possible. And then where I can't make it contiguous, I just fill in the gaps with some Airbnbs or hotel rental or something like that, which still keeps the price pretty dang cheap. So anyway, that's it. Definitely let me know if you have done this before. I'd be curious to see how many of you have actually done home exchanges. A lot of times when I talk about this, people have no idea what it is. I actually found it by I was staying in Hawaii, in Maui. I'd rented this condo on the beach, and I was thinking, man, it seems kind of a shame that my house is empty all this time, and I'm paying mortgage on that, plus I'm paying rent on the condo. Like, wouldn't it be cool if I could just swap homes with someone? So I went and I actually searched for home exchange, and sure enough, there was a site for it. So all right, so anyway, hopefully you'll find that useful if you want to do some traveling. And you know, you can do shorter trips too, just a week or a couple days or something like that. I've done that as well. But let me know if you try it out and what you think. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click that subscribe button, click the bell so you don't miss any of these videos as I'm traveling through Europe on my European tour 2017. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.